Namaste everyone. In today's video, we're going to focus on Muni Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 3.55. Now this is the last sutra of the Vibhuti Pad, and we're really now just starting to move towards Kaivalya. Right after the sutra, we're going to move towards Kaivalya Pad, which is like the peak or the penultimate position of the entire Yoga Sutra series. So now let's take a good look at what this final sutra of the Vibhuti Pad is, what it's trying to tell us, and what it defines as a stage of Kaivalya. So let's take a good look at the sutra, start breaking it up word by word, understanding it a little bit deeper, and then taking it right from there. So the sutra itself goes, Sattva Purusha Yoho Shuddhi Samye Kaivalyam. Alright, so this is the sutra itself. Let's start breaking it up word by word now to understand it a little bit better. So the first word that we have here is sattva. Now sattva refers to the pure, pristine form of the consciousness or the chitta, and this is really at the Mula Prakriti region, as Prakriti is just about starting to evolve even before the Mahat stage. So this is where we're talking about sattva, or just the being or existence. Then moving to the next word, we have Purusha. And Purusha, of course, is referring to the primordial principle Purusha from the Sankhya theory, which is considered the witness principle that we're going to understand through the sutra. And the next word is Shuddhi. Shuddhi is a very common Hindi word as well, which refers to purity or the purification of something. So that is being used over here as Shuddhi. And then the next word in the series is Samya. Samya refers to something that has a similarity or a certain sense of equality. So we're saying Samya in this case. And then coming to the final word, of course, is Kaivalyam, which is the ultimate stage of the entire Yoga Sutra series, and that kind of develops closer and closer to the Nirbija Samadhi, which ultimately results in the Dharma Megha Samadhi. So now that we've understood the meanings of each of the words, let's start thinking about what exactly is the sutra telling us and how can we understand it a little bit better. So the sutra is saying that in the equality of the purity of the sattva as well as the purusha, so the stage where the sattva principle as well as the purusha principle become completely pure and equal, the equality emerges, that is where Kaivalya will be established. So this is quite an important sutra right here that is explaining to us the importance of the Purusha and Prakriti and their own pristine forms. So now let's deep dive even further into the sutra and start understanding it a little bit better. So this is overall an extremely important sutra to understand because it's taking us backwards on the counter-evolution process of Sankhya. So just the way the Sankhya theory explains evolution to us, how Purusha Prakriti merge, or they seem to have a sanyog, which is really an illusion, and as they seem to come together, they kind of manifest, or Prakriti evolves and gives rise to a lot of evolutes, whereas Purusha stays immutable and unmovable, just the same, and Prakriti evolves or wraps around that Purusha to continue evolving as it does. And through this evolution, we now get entangled within this illusion of Purusha and Prakriti, and then we live in that misconception of that world. So this sutra is finally telling us that once we reach the stage of Kaivalya, what is happening is Purusha and Prakriti are clearly distinct in the realization and experience of the Yoga Sadhak. So the Yoga Sadhak is able to differentiate the Chitta, the Sattva part of the Chitta, which is really the pristine part of it. This is even before Mahat has begun to develop, when the Mula Prakriti is just about going to start evolving. So that very particular section versus the Purusha come across and stand as two equals really, but they're understood as two different elements. Now this is really important because throughout the Yoga Sutras so far, we have been taking the Chitta on a backwards journey through the consciousness all the way up to this point of the Mula Prakriti or the Sattva principle. And this is incredible because Rajas and Tamas also have not even started to act on the Prakritic elements as yet. None of that has happened. We're still at literally the spark of existence. We are literally at the Sattva principle, at the Mula Prakriti threshold. Now this is extremely important because what has now happened is these two elements, which seemed to have merged together, have now very clearly for the Yog Sadhak come apart as two separate entities. And it is because of this that the Yog Sadhak is now able to understand the witness principle or the Purusha, and from there kind of move towards liberation and the Kaivalya journey. So this is extremely important because until now, the Yog Sadhak still at some level was engrossed, still in the range of Prakriti. But once the Kaivalya stage has been reached, there is no question of the clear distinction and difference between the Purusha and the Prakriti, and how both of them are two different primordial elements and not one and the same. Now this takes a lot of time and practice because when we think about Sanyam or we think about Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, usually we're indicating Sabija Samadhi. So we were using Sanyam in all the previous sutras to focus on different objects, different subjects, to really create that sense of deep understanding, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi on a particular object or subject. But that's still Sabija Samadhi. When we cross that and enter into the realm of Nirbija Samadhi, we now actually start going much deeper and more closely into the process. So this process now becomes Nirbija Samadhi, and the perfection of that Nirbija Samadhi transforms into Dharma Megha Samadhi. So these two, Nirbija Samadhi and Dharma Megha Samadhi, are what come together to really form the Kaivalya stage, and that is where we are able to understand the distinction between the Purusha and the Prakriti elements. Now also Prakriti, Mula Prakriti, Sattva are referring to the compound or the complex of the Prakriti whole, and that is what we're referring to in this sutra. So now that the Yog Sadhak clearly sees that difference, and not only sees it intellectually but experientially as well, feels that difference between the two elements, he or she is now ready to move deeper towards the Kaivalya stage. And this next chapter of the Kaivalya path goes even deeper, taking the sadhak on the journey of Kaivalya, and how this can be so incredible, so fascinating, and really the penultimate stage of everything that we were working towards so far. All the Ashtangas, all the 8 different steps, everything that we've been learning, studying and working towards culminates into this one moment where Kaivalya takes place, and we understand the difference between Purusha Prakriti, and the Chitta takes its journey all the way back in the counter-evolution format to come at this experiential realization. So that is all for Sutra 3.55. I hope you've been able to understand what this sutra is trying to convey, and it's really exciting now because we're going to step into the Kaivalya path. It's such an incredible thing, of course, because this is known as Kaivalya path, and our home school is school that we've studied from, and the books that we refer to are also from the school known as Kaivalyadhama, which is such a beautiful name and so incredible when you think about it, because Kaivalya means this stage of knowing the difference between Purusha and Prakriti, and Dham refers to home. So it's so beautiful to know that the name of the organization itself is Kaivalyadhama, taking from the Kaivalya in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and then calling the entire school the home of Kaivalya. So it is really truly incredible, and please do check out the original book, the link to which is in the description, because of course we can make all these videos and help you to understand it better, but there's no better way than to learn from the original text itself, the link to which you can check out in the description. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Leave your comments in the comments box below. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, especially those that are studying the Yoga Sutras or yoga philosophy. At the same time, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we're releasing new videos every single week and we cannot wait to stay in sync with you and stay tuned with you. So that's it for now. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. If you're interested in joining our classes, courses or workshops, the links will again be in the description. So take care of yourselves. We look forward to seeing you really soon and see you in the next one. Namaste.